the tank weak spots.
Here, maybe just force view us, since he's gonna record it anyways.
Yeah, that's right.
It's easier.
First view of me. All right, there we go. All right, so let's start off here. We have like what is it? One, two, three, four type of tanks. We got the medium tank here, which would be your VT2s and RM2s. You got the VT6s and RM3s, which will be your MBTs, main battle tanks. You got your tank destroyers here, which would be your RH3 and HAT2 here. Yeah, tank destroyers. And coming over here is your light tanks or armored vehicles. You got your LRV and ARV. We'll be mainly seeing the LRV here, this old box car, because we don't use a toll and the ARV's on a toll. So we're going to start off with the BT2 here, which will be our medium tank. Red basically means it does no damage here. Yellow means it does like 5 less damage, and green means it does like full damage. So let's say I shoot red, it does like 5 damage. Shoot yellow, it does like 35, and you shoot the green, it does like 40. All right. What else? The medium tank has decent tank armor, but like value wise, it takes more damage. So yeah. Starting off here, you got the front maintlet of the turrets. Front of the turret, you can't do damage to. The cupola up here, which is this like little circle, you can't do damage to. Front plate can't do damage. Front of the tracks can't do damage, and this little wedge here. I'm gonna size it up. Yeah, this little wedge can't do damage to it either. You got the bottom plate. Bottom plate does like 10 to 20 damage depending on what tank you do. So if it's like a VT2 against an RM2, this would do 10 damage. If it was like a VT6 or a VT2, it'd be like 20 damage if you shot it with the VT6. The tanks have ring shots here. Right under the turret is the ring. This little thing does full damage if you hit it. They're kind of hard to hit, especially in the medium tanks. So there's that. We're going to be going off to the sides here. I'm going to color this wedge blue. Keep in mind that this is still red, this little blue wedge. I'm going to color these like darker blue, these back boxes. I'm going to color this, let's say, that blue. All right, so this cyan wedge here, this wedge's job is to stop you from hitting these 4 boxes easily. So these 3 boxes cannot get, if you're like, let's say you're at a range of over here, you cannot hit over this wedge to hit these 3 boxes, all right? You can still hit this like little engine box because it sticks up like right here and also right here. So basically, if you're at a long range, do not try to hit these 3 boxes. Go for this very back box. But if you're, let's say, at a range around here, where I've marked, you can shoot over this wedge and hit these 3 boxes, all right? The side tracks here, they do about like 30, 35 damage. One of them still a very good place to shoot. Shoot it if you can. I think it's 35 damage. Yeah, these tracks do 35 damage. Side of the turret does 40. Back of the turret does 40. Engine does 40. And the ring does 40. All right. That's really it for the VT2. It does less damage also. So that's that for the medium tank. So moving on to the VT6 here. This will be our main battle tank. Same as usual. Red means no damage. Yellow is the same. All that. So coming on the like top of the turret here, the cupola is pinnable. It does about 40 damage. Very good, easy spot to shoot. What else? It has a rangefinder on it, which means there's like a red crosshair instead of the green one. You got the bottom plate here, right here, marked in green. Turret ring is noticeably bigger on the VT6, so kind of easier to hit. Basically, main battle tanks are the glass cannons. They do a lot more damage, but their weak spots are more prominent, as seen with the cupola on that here. Moving on, this red little triangle here, red wedge right here. Its job is to stop you from hitting these boxes. I'm gonna mark cyan here. They're still yellow, but yeah, so this wedge blocks these boxes here. Very easy to shoot over because literally you have like this little area to hit. Pretty easy shots if you ask me. You got the side of the turret here, back of the turret, engine, and that's really it. Same thing as the medium tank, besides the cupola right here, and the like one little side armor on the very top. Moving on, this is the RM3 Raiders tank. What else? This thing has horrible armor, as seen with literally this entire thing's yellow. This right here should be orange. It does like 25 damage if you hit it. It looks like a black box, but for the sake, it's gonna be like an orange box because it does reduce damage right here. This little box stops you from hitting these giant boxes back here. It literally stops nothing, so there's like really no armor on this thing. Front of the turret's more like side of the turret. I meant more up here, and it also has radars right here. They do 40. There's also a massive turret ring. I'm gonna size it out here. Massive turret ring right here. Yeah, right. Giants. So can try and hit that. Does like what is it? 50 damage. You can two-shot an arm 3 by hitting it if you're in a VT6. Sides are the same, and yeah, basically everything else is the same. Cupola is not pinnable right here. So VT2, it does less damage. VT6 and Arm 3 do more damage because it's better cannon and whatnot, but it has like less armor per se. It has less physical armor, but like its armor stats are better than the VT2. Moving on to the TDs here. He's basically, let's see here. This is a little wonky. This is the RH3. This will be the Raiders TD. It has a giant turret ring. It's not recommended to fight this thing head on because it can pin a tank anywhere. Actually, hold on. Let me give an example of how the TD works. Let me bring the TD out. Hat 2. All right, so TD, this bad boy here. Let's get a medium tank. So TD will two-shot the VT6 anywhere, which is the MBT, and the TD two-shots the VT2 frontally, but it can also one-shot it if it hits any of its weak spots. Basically, I do 90 damage. The VT2 has 80 health. Yeah, so don't fight this thing frontally. You have to flank it from behind, all right? If you fight it frontally, you're either just going to get 1 to 2-shotted, depending on what tank you're in. And I did forget to mention the Arm 3, our main battle tanks here, they have 100 HP, while the VT2 and Arm 2, which is this one, will have the 80 HP, all right? TDs back here will have 125, and they do a lot more damage to weak spots, but they can frontally pin tanks. So let me get another VT2 out here. So I'm going to shoot this thing frontally. It will do 55 damage, so that's 2 shots. Unlike the 1 shot, all right? TDs can be easily countered by the armored cars, which would be the LRV2 and the RL3. Let me spawn it in, and the RL3 here. Basically, these things have to... Yeah, basically, they can pin the back of the tanks here, the little back of the turrets, and it can maneuver around it faster than it can turn, so it's a good counter to it. That is why you always need to have tanks supporting your TD, or an AC's gonna come around and like kill it. West Nubian tank here, it's basically everything's yellow, same old, same old. Back the turret does full damage. For some reason, the engine's yellow. This TD's weird.
But it's just the turret ring, really. Just the turret ring.
Yeah, always try to fight this thing. Don't fight it frontally. That's all I can say about the TD.
Do you want to do a quick like TD versus AC thing just to show an example, or?
Yeah, let's try and do that. All right, so quickly we're gonna do an example here. Let me get myself an Op4 TD Op4. All right. So I'm big evil TD. All right, and AC is gonna be coming around real quick. Oh, my TD ain't moving. What's wrong? All right, so an AC is gonna be trying flanking me here. All right. The TD moves really slow, so that AC is already around me, and I cannot turn like fast enough to hit it, right?
It's not letting me damage you, but they see what I mean.
Yeah, you gotta shoot the back. I don't know why it's not working. It's buggy a little. Yeah, so basically, you gotta shoot this one little area, and it does damage. I don't know why Pizza Man's game is like broken, but yeah, so you all get the gist. TD very slow, AC very fast, so that's a good counter to it. The not West Nubian, the Defender is little TD here. This thing has a decent ring. It's kind of hard to hit, but its main thing here is the cupola, unlike the RH3, because the cupola on this one's phased. Well, it has no collision, so it can't get hit. So cupola is the only difference on this thing. Same old armor. The TDs take a lot less damage. So let's say VT2 hits it in one of its side, it does like 15 damage, and a VT6 will hit it on this side, and it does like 25 damage. So they have way better armor than most tanks. It also do way more damage in frontally pinned tanks. So moving on to the ACs here. ACs, the little armored car here. This thing's main job is to unfly. All right. Main job, basically, kill infantry because they can fire HE, and you can press V to load AP, alright? That is just armor piercing. That is what you're always going to be using to kill tanks. HE does nothing. So, basically, how you want to kill things is you want to go up behind them because you can get one-shots, pretty much. Basically, VT2 two-shots you because it does 40 damage per shot. ACs have 50 HP, or the VT6 will one-shot you because it does, like, 50-something damage, alright? Here, let me read this. Alright, yeah. So ACs have literally no armor. Its main purpose is infantry fighting and sometimes fight tanks when it's given the opportunity, alright? Yeah, VT6 basically counters AC, and the VT2 can get killed by it easily because it does more damage to the back. The VT2 takes like 2 damage per engine or turret shot from the AC, and the AC does about 7 to 2 damage to the back of the VT2 turret, so can be used as a good tank killer if you can flank them. What else?
So are all of the tank controls universal?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me go over
here,
some controls real quick. Let me go in the little academy area.
Here, bring a Sammy over, and then let him get in a tank, and because it shows the controls
Oh yeah,
like,
that's
on
right.
the bottom. So like here, I'll spawn. Sure, I'll unview you. Unview all. Give. And then I'll spawn him like a VT2. So you just get in. And see how there's the controls on the bottom? Some of them are a little out of date, like the smoke stuff, like that doesn't work, but all the things you need to know are down there.
Yeah, so 1 is your barrel, 2 is your coaxial, and M1's to fire.
Yeah, and also, whenever you're in a tank, always have shift lock off.
Yeah, shift lock off so you can zoom. Q is your sights, and shift is your zoom, so that's why you have your shift lock off.
Yeah.
It's always recommended to, after we went over everything, it's always recommended to keep the front of your tank facing your opponents. Because if you have a pixel of your track showing, you can basically get hurt, alright? So let's say this, yeah. Let's say I can shoot you in your inner, yeah, you can shoot inner tracks, by the way. So let me, yeah. So you can shoot the inside of tracks. So you gotta keep a watch for that.
Yeah, and don't ever, like, always stay in first person. Because if you stay in first person, you're probably going to angle, and they're going to see your angle.
Always, yeah, this is mainly a TPS thing, besides if you gotta go in barrel view. Stay out of barrel view. Barrel view is only really for sniping.
Oh yeah, also, here, I'll show them jousting real quick.
Yeah, so jousting, basically, our turrets are hollow, so
if you drive into them?
Yeah, basically, the shell comes out of the end of your barrel, so if your little barrel is inside their tank, they can hit either your ring, top of your turret, or the back of your turret, or side. Now, when jousting VT2s, you gotta aim low, because you're gonna hit the cupola on this thing, right? And it'll do 5 damage. That's what you gotta watch out when you joust.
Yep, see how it does damage?
Yeah, but this is not recommended to do. You only do this if they're reloading and you know they're one shot, right?
You only do jousting if you're low and you need to get easy damage, or the other guy's just one shot, and you can easily kill him.
Yeah, like that. All right, hop in your tank real quick, Pizza. All right, so we're gonna go over strategies on how to play. So, Sammy, if you can get in this VT2 again. So, we went over jousting, but there's also another way to joust. Basically, when you get up close enough, like I mentioned, you can shoot over the wedge. So, let's say right here, or right here, preferably on the right side, depending on, like, whatever you're more comfortable with and what you can see. You don't have to joust, you can get up here and shoot these little side. Oh, I just 5 damage hit the wedge. Yeah, but if you get close enough, you can hit the upper boxes here by just shooting over the wedge. So you don't gotta fully go in for a joust like this. You can stay back, boxes, and I just blew his head off.
Yeah, because if you do that, like you can like fake the joust, and then they'll just shoot the front of your turret, do no damage, and you get a free 30.
I do say also watch turning your turret like this, because as I mentioned before, the side of your turret will get fought. Yeah. Another thing we like to do is wiggling. So, you know how I went over inner tracks are a weak spot here? The, inner tracks? Basically, what that means, what wiggling does, you don't want to, like, okay, so this is a bad example of wiggling.
Yeah.
Here, let me get in this thing, Pizza. So this is a bad example of wiggling, like right here. Basically, I'm just showing you my sides, and I'm like doing nothing. Now, actual wiggling. Ooh, this guy's like stuck under my tank.
Here, I'll
Okay, so basically, wiggling is to prevent them hitting your inner tracks by. So let's say if I'm like dead set on focus, trying to like shoot your inner tracks, and you notice that, like you can move in the way you're like he's aiming at. So you can move and block his shell. So basically, it's all about just blocking shells. That's what wiggling is. So let's say if I'm trying to go for an inner track right here, you will move. Oh, how would you know? Let me see. Yeah, you move to the right. So I would like, yeah, you're like showing your tracks here. Do not do that. Yeah, so this wiggling, I'll end up shooting your front tracks. Boom. Can't really do damage because it does like 5 damage. There's also a thing if you like aim here on the back box. Let me see. This very side here has no armor. The wedge does not like block it, so you can snipe that one side. Here, let me try and shoot it. Here, my shift lock's on. Hold on, give me a second.
Oh, wow, dude. Wow, dude.
I'm using what I preach. Alright, so this back box, you want to aim up a little high so you can hit like, because it clips up a little over the wedge. Hit that, do 30 damage. So you need to do that for the VT2s or try and go for inner tracks because fighting it frontally is very hard because of the wedges. Oh, what else am I missing, Pizza?
You maybe want to talk about how like tank matchups go? Like, you know, you don't want to do a VT2 versus a VT6.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Alright, Sam, we can hop out real quick. We're going to give you the MBT. Show you what the MBT looks like. So this is the VT6, the one with the rangefinder. It's the main battle tank.
I will say though, the rangefinder isn't 100% accurate, so
It's a little off. At like further ranges, it gets off because
yeah, don't you have to like aim it like up more a little or something?
yeah, it's a little off at ranges, but it is pretty reliable. All right, here, let me get a main battle tank here. I'll let you shoot this VT6. Shoot it inside. We're gonna see the damage differences. Alright, so that does less damage. Also, click again to reload. Alright, so now we're gonna get a VT2. Basically, the VT2 will get 2-shotted by this thing because it does 40 for both shots. Alright. So that's the one thing about the VT6. Now try and hit a cupola shot. You gotta, here, I'm gonna mark where you're supposed to hit. You're supposed to hit around right here. It's a very easy shot.
And that does 40 also.
40 damage, yeah.
Yeah, so instead of a giant turret ring, you have a cupola.
Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to the TD here. We're going to show some of its controls. Alright. Press P in the TD. That's basically its range finder. That's
Here.
really useful if you do not know its drop.
Here, I will spawn like a VT2 over there, and you just use your rangefinder to hit it. See?
Alright, nice shot. Yeah, so that's your rangefinder. TD does not have a MG or anything, so you don't got the coaxial. Alright, hop out of the tank. We're going to be moving on to the LRV2 here. So this is going to be our AC. At certain ranges, preferably on Sagdam, because this map does not have damage fall off, but Sagdam does. Press V real quick to swap to AP. We're going to be using AP. Alright, so from that distance, what's roughly the place the AC can do damage? So around where you are, that's like your max range, preferably in Sagdam, one of our raid maps where you can do damage to the AC. Shoot the AC from here. Yeah, so you can kill the AC in about 5 to 4 shots. Now with the VT2, I'm gonna face its back to you. I just face it frontally. Go to it, go behind it.
Just flank it, flank it.
Yeah, flank it. Yeah, so shoot its engine and back here. You can also do 2 damage to the tracks. So you see, you do about 7 damage clicking in to reload the AC.
It's click or R. It's either or.
Yeah, just use click. Yeah, so you do way more damage to the VT2 compared to the VT6 here and or RM3. Actually, let me get the RM3. Should be using the VT6.
Yeah, we're gonna be fighting the RM3 anyways.
Yeah, so the RM3 right here. Try and shoot its engine in that. You'll do 2 damage.
The nice thing is though, if you can somehow hit its turret ring, that does a tad more damage.
Yeah, so basically you do 12 damage. I would recommend getting up like beside it because that's where you can easily hit the turret ring.
Yeah, like get right here, and then like aim for its turret ring, and you'll get to like 12.
Yeah. That's how you kill your main battle tanks in the AC. It's not recommended to fight them though, because I did say you can't get one-shotted. VT2s are more like VT2 or ARM2s.
Yeah.
Let me, yeah. So the
Medium,
ARM2,
mediums 2-shot ACs, MVTs 1-shot ACs.
yeah. HE is normally used for when, let's see, let's get an MTV truck here. So
Actually-
this would be full of people. You'd usually shoot like an HE shell into its side or like into it and
Here we
like
go.
kill everyone on the truck.
See where I am? AC. Look how I'm in this window over here. I'm gonna be behind this wall, and yeah, you can just shoot me behind the wall. with HE.
The explosive can go through everything. AC is also good for clearing infantry off of tanks, and that's really it. So, any questions or anything?
Nope.
All right, that should be everything. Hopefully. I hope I'm not
And
missing
obviously,
anything.
if you want to like have people come on here and like memorize weak spots, it's all over here.
Yeah. Mentar, you in DC?
Yeah,
I know
he
you
left.
are.
He left. He's still in the game.
Yeah, you can get private servers and get admin and like do TDMs and whatnot. Practice weak spots.
Yeah, we'll probably
Like-
do a TDM tonight on this, just to get the gist of it. But,
Yeah, I would try to do
it.
it. Try to do like a TDM with like all the tanks too, just because.
Yeah. But nice. Anyways, we
Yeah,
appreciate
so
it.
that's